know, it's weird thinking about talking about baseball. We haven't talked about baseball hardly at all. Obviously, we're up here at Hallis Hall, but you could still sneak in a little baseball.
You could control that.
Well, I mean, I'm trying. Your team sucks.
I know. But you know that I've known that. And
yes, that is true.
That's the thing. Like, I texted Cap even yesterday, too.
What did you say?
I said, so the Cubs aren't back or something like that.
Well, what did he say?
Or I said something like, so are the Cubs back? This is as they were losing. I wrote, are the Cubs back? ?
Yeah.
And he wrote, your Cubs stink.
Oh, really? Now they're your Cubs.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. Well, your Cubs did not make hay in Cleveland against a really good Cleveland team, but they threw guys at you. They had no business shutting you down the way that they did. White Sox are not really worth talking about very much other than when they intentionally walk Juan Soto to get to Aaron Judge. And then
I was watching that.
He pops his fastest to 300 in Major League Baseball history.
Least amount of games played to reach 300.
It's unbelievable.
You know, people aren't talking about how good a season Juan Soto and Aaron Judge
it's so
are
funny you're mentioning. No, I'm saying like, but
is that you saying because Carmen's
texting yesterday.
But the Aaron Judge season is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's hitting 333 with a 467 on base. He hit his 43rd home run yesterday against the White Sox on the season, and he's got 110 RBIs.
Like Bobby Witt Jr. is an MVP in any other year but this year, right?
Well, have you seen the stat that's now going around too? That Aaron Judge, if he played in Kauffman Stadium, would have 29 home runs instead of 42.
Oh, really?
He does go oppo quite a bit to that short porch in right field.
It is an amazing statistical season that he's having right now. It's crazy. I think our good friend and our teammate Jesse Rogers wrote a really compelling article on ESPN.com titled "Could 6-inning minimum starting pitching rule come to Major League Baseball?" Is that to suggest? I haven't read the full article yet, but is there a rule that exists now in different levels? He says if it comes to Major League Baseball. So what Jesse is suggesting is that this would be very helpful for baseball in a number of ways. And you guys were trying to explain it to me how this would all work.
Yeah. So what they're trying to do is they want to promote action and they want to restore the starting pitcher. I've talked about this often too, because this 3 times through the order drives people crazy and they just cut these starts so short. Now we see the bullpens, just one bullpen arm after another. I like watching starting pitchers pitch. The way, again, it's far away, and it's a very big step where they would have to take. But Jesse's article is saying that it may not be as far-fetched as you think.
Yes.
And here's the rules.
This is what he says. I mean, this is Jesse. I've got this right here.
Yeah, it would be. So if the starting pitcher, you have to throw him 6 innings unless he gets hit for 4 earned runs or more. Then you can pull him before that. Or he throws more than 100 pitches, or he gets hurt.
Which would require a mandatory stay on the injured list to avoid any manipulation.
So if he's under 4 earned runs.
Ah, my arm!
And he's under 100 pitches, he's got to stay in there if he's healthy.
I kind of like it. I'm not going to lie.
Me too.
I kind of like it. I believe a couple of weeks ago, I was looking at the numbers. I believe Major League Baseball at that point was at a historic low collectively with batting average and all kinds of offensive statistics. And the thought would be is if you make it mandatory that starting pitchers stay in, then the offensive output, the numbers would go up and there'd be a little more action.
So what would happen if they come like a rehabbing pitcher comes back and they don't think he's built up for 100? Like what would happen with Crochet these days?
Listen,
you'd have to shelve him, wouldn't you? Or you're not going to be willing to commit to 6 innings or 100 pitches.
And that's where I don't know. Trying to wrap my head around this. And part of the reason is Jesse mentioned in his article for forever.
I thought Jesse was.
forever people, like when you would go to a baseball
Got a
game,
scoop?
part of the allure would be the starting pitcher on the mound, right? The stars of the game.
That's the best thing.
When starting pitchers are like at their height, they really are compelling reasons to go to the ballpark. And there's not enough of that left in baseball anymore. And they're fighting against, they're trying to get attention, and they're losing this part of the game. And so that's part of the reason why you're doing it. But to that point, I wonder if 90 pitches would be maybe a little better threshold.
Here's it's a really good article. It's very long, but there are a lot of compelling parts. He says proponents of a 6-inning mandate hope the biggest impact would take place behind the scenes. The belief is that pitchers would have to stop relying so heavily on max velocity and would set up their training around navigating longer starts rather than overpowering stuff. And in theory, starters pacing themselves to pitch deeper into games could help curtail the alarming rate of major arm injuries suffered by pitchers and also give hitters a better chance at the plate. I think we heard something like that comparable from who was the Braves pitcher, who was a starter and then became a reliever.
Spencer Strider?
No.
John
Smoltz.
Yes, I think Smoltz was talking about that.
We played that, and I agreed with it. I think I played it for Wilbon. Again, I believe that this is I'm trying to say politically correct. This goes with football too, where we've just gone soft. We've gone soft with the amount that a starting pitcher can pitch,
the amount of practices the NFL teams have their guys.
I believe this leads to more injuries. I believe the babying of a starting pitcher leads to more injuries because we're asking them, as Smoltz said, to max out for a shorter period of time. They don't get to callous themselves like how we used to ask football players. And like you have always said, I'm not asking for a return to 1990. I'm not. I'm asking for common sense here. I'm asking for football players to go through a real training camp so they can be ready for an NFL season. I believe we have more soft tissue injuries because these guys aren't being conditioned correctly for a football season.
Yes. And with that said, that's the end of our baseball discussion. I'm trying to make sure the equipment stays.
We didn't get struck down.
I'm trying to make sure the equipment. Quick story before we go to break, and when we come back,
we're good till 55.
Oh, we are.
Yeah. Well,
excellent.
We had some time here where
so we can talk White Sox.
Kev, I want to know who you have as the top 5 most handsome Bears. As you try to ask the question
yesterday,
you tried to ask the question to Yurko, and Yurko didn't want a piece of it.
I heard his top 5.
No, I heard the top 3. I heard
Owens.
Gold, silver, and bronze. I did not hear 4 and 5.
Khalil Herbert would be next on the list.
Okay, and
I bet you if I showed you 4 pictures of people, you would not identify Khalil Herbert.
Are you guys saying I don't know ball?
I'm saying you don't know Khalil Herbert.
I think that constitutes as not knowing ball.
Yeah.
Khalil Herbert.
Do you think that you could identify Khalil Herbert if you had to?
If you gave me 4 pictures, for sure.
For sure? Wow, you're
I'm
confident.
I'm
confident.
pretty confident. Yeah.
You know what?
Don't give me the naked Wayne Gretzky picture.
One of them's going to be naked Wayne Gretzky. That's the gimme.
No,
you can't figure out that that's
now
not
you can't because you're right expecting it. So we can't give you the naked Wayne Gretzky, and it really wasn't naked, or at least you couldn't see.
All right, give me I think
it was a challenge.
I can prep this for tomorrow. We'll do that tomorrow. We'll give you a.
Well, don't give him a chance. No, we got to do this now. You
do
can't
it now.
Give him
I
a
won't
chance.
cheat.
We won't give him a chance to.
I think cheating is so silly in these games because then it knocks the fun out of it for all
I
of
agree.
us.
No, there's nothing on the line.
Do you know why they?
By the way, real quick, Khalil
But
Herbert.
if there was something on the line, I wouldn't cheat either because
You're a man of integrity, no
Yes.
doubt. Khalil Herbert ripped off a long run in the
He did.
practice today.
Did you see Chad Morton running with him?
I did. I said that to Waddle. Does he
Somebody's
going
to
to
pull a hamstring with that. I'd be careful.
I will
Chad
say,
Morton.
the last episode of Hard Knocks,
Yes,
Chad
Tyler.
Morton, the only one that showed a little character.
Oh,
That's
wow.
true.
Wow.
No swearing
Are you
now.
still down on it a day later, Tyler, or 2 days
Hell
later?
yeah.
Still down? Okay.
Hey,
I don't know if you
The
changed your
content
opinion.
didn't change.
Did you watch it again to change your mind, Tyler?
No.
The beat is with you. If that sounded weird. The people on the beat who are the writers that I was walking with to the field, who will remain nameless, they were ripping it too.
Finley.
It was not Finley.
He was to me.
wow.
But the funny thing that I felt it was with, and I know that these people don't have editorial control, but there is an open condemnation of Hard Knocks within earshot of several people who are actually working on the show.
Now, remember this, though, as they told us the way they do it. They film all the stuff.
Yes.
And then they
That's
edit
why I
the
said
storyline.
They don't have
back in New
editorial.
York.
Those people don't have editorial control, but, they are very much within earshot of criticism of some of the storylines that are going through.
You need to go Gloria Stefan and turn the beat around on this, Sylvie.
Turn the beat around. Can you feel the passion? Is that how it goes?
Right in his wheelhouse. I knew he would get
It was fantastic. Brazil nude beaches have a problem. Do you know what it is?
Yeah, there's not a lot of pretty nude people.
Well, that was so shallow. I can't even imagine.
Well, wait a minute. Isn't being nude all about shallow, or is it being free? Being free in your body.
What do you mean? Being a nude beach is all about being shallow?
Well, it's about seeing other people's bodies. I mean, it's.
Do you think that's the essence of a nude beach, is so that you could stare at other people's nudity?
Not to stare, but I mean,
I think it's a nudist colony isn't a big hookup scene. It's about just being free with the world.
Did you hear me say hook up? I never once uttered hook up.
You said staring.
Yeah, I don't.
So there's staring, but.
So what, is there a no staring rule?
No, there's not enough nudists anymore.
All right,
That's
what if
the problem.
the Bears had camp at a nude beach?
I would not cover the camp. Would the reporters have to be naked too?
Yeah, that's a definite no for me. I'd be doing the show from home.
I can't do that. I mean, I'm terrible. I'm embarrassed of myself in the mirror alone when I'm naked.
I just don't think you want to be naked with all of your coworkers or people you work with or you're around. I just don't think. I think that would make it uncomfortable for everybody. I think if you're on vacation,
where are you
somewhere
looking?
in a foreign country.
If we're having this conversation now, where are you looking?
What do you mean?
Where are you looking if we're all naked right now?
What do you mean? I don't know what you mean. You mean
like you're not looking at me?
I'm not going to walk around with my hands like this. I think.
Well, you're looking at the wall or you're looking down. You're not looking.
I'm not doing a forensic eye research project on you. No, I'm not. I would be forced to just kind of try to make it as normal as possible, whether you were wearing clothes or not. I'm not going to sit and have a conversation with you staring at your ball sack. Like, I mean, what do you want me to do? I don't know. I mean, what's
Kempo? Would you be good with you seem to be good with a naked Bears camp?
Perfectly comfortable with it.
Where would you be staring when you knew what was going on?
The eyes.
I'm imagining.
First of all, are you saying the players are not naked because you couldn't play football naked?
I was thinking.
So it would just be the people. Is it just the press? Are the coaches naked? Like,
no,
who's
the
naked?
players are naked too, but they're still wearing the Guardian caps.
Because of political correctness.
Jock straps and Guardian
caps. Yeah,
it's not football. So where are your eyes then, Cap?
10-2.
That's where your hands are driving a car. What do you mean at 10-2?
Just think about it.
10-2. I'm still thinking about it, and I'm not making any
shoulders
progress here.
You talking about the shoulders? 10-2.
Just want you guys to use your imaginations.
By the way, here's the
You're
medical.
looking at 6 o'clock, and you know it.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's no question.
High noon.
You're weird. Here's your medical story of the day. Sweden has reported their first case of a deadly monkeypox strain outside of Africa.
So what does this mean for us?
It means that Sweden has announced the first case of monkeypox outside of Africa.
Okay, but you know how this goes then. Once there's one,
is
this going to happen quickly?
Just keep an eye out, your ear to the ground. That's all I'm just saying. Just saying. I'm just giving you I'm giving you a heads up. Have you not heard that monkeypox is starting to show up places?
Are you more worried about monkeypox?
I'm not worried about monkeypox.
Monkeypox or bird flu?
I'm not worried about either.
Which one?
I'm worried about actually jock itch from this sitting in this chair for 6 hours a day.
What about
That's
a
what-
second pass rusher for the Bears?
That keeps
rank
me
them
up
in
at night.
order.
I would say
Monkeypox.
I would say pass rusher, jock itch, monkeypox, bird flu.
What's with the jock itch lately?
Well, it's not really. It's just I'm uncomfortable sitting in this chair. I just am. I don't know what to tell you.
Why
I don't
is this
know.
chair different than the chair that you're sitting at work?
I don't always sit in the chair at work. I stand up.
Stand up now. Who's
I'm just,
holding you back?
I
Okay,
do
let's
stand up to get up and go.
Waddle and I were talking about this. When we're at Hallis, we sit a lot more.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
a lot
true.
more sitting.
I need to stand up more during the show.
Yes, that is true. James Cameron, who created Avatar and did some other alien-related movies, says he doesn't believe that the aliens have visited our planet. I disagree with him. You know how I feel.
But what does he know? All he's doing is producing movies. He's not an expert on this.
No, I just
he's
thought
a
that
sci-fi movie director.
he has been to the bottom of the ocean. You know, he's done a lot of different stuff. So, I mean, he's just thought you would appreciate his opinion. He says no, he doesn't believe in it. He's making movies about stuff he doesn't believe. This was an interesting story, too, that came across TMZ. Obviously, we all know Matthew Perry passed away a while ago. Arrests have been made in connection with his death. The cause was ketamine overdose. A doctor and drug dealers have been placed in custody. So law enforcement have suggested that several people have been arrested in this case. Sad case. Obviously, he had battled addiction for a very long time. One doctor has been arrested along with several other dealers who helped arrange and deliver ketamine to Perry.
So, like a lot of people had thought that he was finally clean. It obviously was not the case.
He was not. He was not. So, but arrests have been made in that case. So, it's been a bad story, but this was something that did surprise me.
Was this a legit doctor too?
I believe it was, but sad story. Sad story. Really, I don't have any other nonsense for you. Yeah.
It's good.
Nothing new from the Brandon Ayuk 49er-Steeler interaction. I don't know that the Bears have made any offers to any pass rushers or teams that are looking to move pass rushers. So pretty boring day here on Waddle's World. Oh, Matt Milano, a Pro Bowl caliber middle linebacker, also a Boston College guy, tore his bicep. He's out. He missed all of last year as well. So,
wow.
There are some injuries, and I've not heard any update either of the two Bengals that got hurt today. Not only did they get hurt, but they were taken off on carts with air casts. That's never good. And one, I believe, was one of their offensive tackles.
Yeah.